Welcome to Seth's Daily Podcast. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. And thank you guys for subscribing. We're blessed enough to have an interview with Bigfoot researcher, cryptid researcher, David Mills. How are you doing tonight, man?
Doing awesome, Seth. Glad to be on again.
Absolutely, man. And definitely RIP to Earl. And the podcast will always be for Earl, man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. And we're gonna be talking about a cryptid I've never heard of until I forget who told me, but I'm sorry,
Yeah.
whoever told me out there. This was like I think it was like a couple weeks ago. Somebody told me. It might have been longer than that. I don't know, man. It's been a crazy past few days, man. But actually, it's called the Appalachian knot deer.
I've never heard of that one before. I'm curious.
Yeah, me too, man. Definitely, it's a new cryptid that I've heard of, and you do a lot of studying in cryptids, man. You've never heard of it. I think
Right.
it's a relatively new cryptid.
Yeah. We'll see what it sounds like. And, maybe it relates to something else I might have heard of.
Yeah. Well, here is the story. This is my first blog post. I decided to have focus around the cryptid. Our magazine is named after the Appalachian knot deer. It is a folk cryptid with sightings common in the foothills of Virginia. There's actually been sightings here in eastern Kentucky as well,
Right.
but they ain't bound to be a specific location, unlike Mothman or the Jersey Devil. And the knot deer seem to be a phenomenon rather than one creature. Sightings typically occur at night or early evening/morning when visibility is low. Most people describe the knot deer appearance to be uncomfortable because it so closely resembles a deer, but well, not each sighting is different. Some describe them as having forward-facing eyes, elongated. That's a weird word. Elongated mouths like dogs or cows, claws or hands instead of hooves, or they stood on two legs as well as four. But the most unsettling thing about them is they aren't afraid of humans. Wild deer will actively avoid humans and run away immediately if they ever cross paths with a person, but not deer don't exhibit the fear that is so integral to know how we understand deer behavior. They also said to make clicking sounds and move with uncomfortable jerking motions, which adds to the uncanny behavior. The lack of fear, clicking, and jerking movements have a scientific explanation that is unfortunately or fortunately, if you're like me and eat this creepy shit with a spoon, that person said, no less terrifying. Deer and other members of the deer family, like elk or moose, can be affected by chronic wasting disease, CWD, an illness similar to mad cow disease that attacks the central nervous system that causes the animal to become incapacitated. I never have been able to say that word. It says they will eventually die, pretty much. Symptoms of CWD are stumbling, drooling, and aggression, and a total lack of fear of people. What's also worth noting is the other deer won't notice or react when another deer shows symptoms of CWD. Similarly to how not deer are described as being part of the herd of deer, if those deer don't notice that it isn't like them, no one has ever been attacked by a deer suffering from CWD, but encounters with them are unsettling. It's not difficult to see they could be mistaken for other kinds of deer like monster. There isn't such written information on not deer because so many stories have been passed down through folklore and the details of which vary. I think the possibility of them is fascinating and even more so because there's a real world explanation for their existence. Regardless, not deer have had a influence on my writing as well. That's on board. He's just promoting his magazine.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I actually I think the explanation for that is BS, and I believe the not deer is real.
Well, I didn't ever hear it. Did it say it was bipedal at all?
It said they never bit anybody or anything.
Never said, never bit anybody or anything. Yeah, attacks on deer from humans is great, but deer on humans not so much, right? Um, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some of the things they're describing, I've seen deer do myself. I'm a pretty big deer hunter, and the slow jerking motions, I've seen deer do that a lot. But I don't know. They said it had hands though, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's what's strange. I don't know. I've never heard of it. That's not saying anything. I'm gonna have to lean towards. I just don't know about that one. That's something I have to look into more on that one.
Yeah. There's
But
actually
the
a thing
deer
called a
head,
deer man too.
yeah, the deer with the horns on top of the head and the antlers or whatever, that can go along with the Wendigo as well. Um, that's one of the how they're described a lot of times with horns on top of their head. But uh, I never heard of the Wendigo over in Virginia area, so who knows?
Yeah, definitely worth doing some research on.
Definitely, yeah, I'm gonna check into that one. I'm actually I signed up for some classes in cryptozoology. I thought was pretty cool. They give you a little diploma and whatnot, and get into that and see if I can learn a little more about some of these other cryptids as well. So that's where we're at, just trying to
Yeah.
better educate ourselves, and you know we have more information that way.
Are you familiar with the goat man?
Yeah, I've heard of the goat man a few times. Baphomet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy out west somewhere supposedly has killed one of those in a tree at his house. I don't know. I mean, I can't really speak to that. I mean, um, the way they sound a lot like Bigfoot, but with like goat horns. It's
Yeah.
pretty strange. Sounds pretty demonic.
Yeah. Greg Yost actually has a footprint of one.
Yeah, Greg comes up with some pretty crazy stuff, man. One of these days I'm gonna get with him and see if me and him go out on an outing and do some more talking to him one on one. Because every time I've ever talked to him, it's been around a bunch of people, so it's hard to get deep in a conversation. But that guy, he's definitely passionate about the cryptid field for sure.
Absolutely, man. He's one of the best out there.
Yeah, yeah, he really is.
Absolutely.
But
And,
we got some big things coming up. We're going to Washington State in April. Going to the
wow.
Olympic Mountains, and Mount St. Helens. Going up there for a week expedition.
Yeah. You may not know this, but that's actually where Earl was from. He was
Is it
born in
really?
Washington. Yep.
Well, that's why he was so interested in
Yeah.
it.
He was a great guy, man. But
Yeah.
I know you're thinking about doing some Bigfoot researching down here in Eastern Kentucky as well.
Oh, definitely. This summer we should be down there quite a bit. Get with you. We can go out and take a look at some spots, and we're going to be spending quite a bit of time down in Daniel Boone. It's so close. Why not?
Yeah, definitely is, man. I mean, there's quite a few locations that Earl told me about where there was sightings and rocks thrown at people and all that, man. Different counties, not just in my county. There's other counties around my county, like next to it, that have also had the same exact like sightings and eyewitness accounts and stuff like that of rocks being thrown. That's a lot. What happens a lot here, man. Around the lake, rocks being thrown. They don't know if it's Bigfoot. I mean, it could be guys. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. It
Yeah.
could be guys throwing rocks at them because they're getting close to their weed patch.
Right. Yeah, yeah, that's a good possibility. But man, I floated down the river at night in Oklahoma. We'd be out there beaver hunting and stuff, and we'd hear big boulders being thrown in the water all the time, just floating down the river, or even out on the lake, just fishing. And Oklahoma, pretty much everybody knows that's one of the hot spots. We used to live on the Washita River out there when I was a kid, and yeah, it get pretty strange at night in some areas out there for sure.
Definitely, man. There's, I mean, our area around here. I know Indiana is a hot spot too for Bigfoot sightings, but our area here in Eastern Kentucky, man. I mean, you got woods, lakes. I mean, you got the resources. This is Squatch, what they call, ain't it called Squatch land or something like that? This is Squatch land.
Squatchland,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, Squatchland. Yeah, Indiana's really grown in the amount of sightings as we've had here. These things are literally everywhere. It's just just a matter of time before it all comes out what they actually are. And I've got my beliefs on what they truly are. Don't fit the Bigfoot world, I can tell you that much. Uh, I totally believe they're flesh and blood creatures, but I don't necessarily believe they're from here,
Yeah,
Earth.
I actually had a guy on from the UK who Russ Kellett, who
Yeah.
said he's been abducted by aliens and stuff, and like fought in the war against aliens with other aliens, I believe. And they actually told me that Bigfoot was security guards for the aliens.
Hmm. Interesting theory. Yeah.
I actually
Well,
think he actually seems
if he's
like
getting
Bigfoot.
abducted, yeah, if
What's
he's
that?
getting abducted and fought in all this, it's not really a theory. He knows supposedly, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
not a theory at all. So that's pretty spectacular. Um, but in today's world, people are so bonded to what's here on Earth that they don't want to admit that there could be something else out there. And these things might transplant their cells here in an attempt to survive from wherever they came from. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, man. I couldn't hear you there for a second. My fault. A minute ago when you was saying that. Yeah, he definitely knows. You're right though, man.
Right? Yeah. He definitely knows. If he's involved in all that, he knows. That's pretty
Absolutely, man.
amazing.
Yeah, he actually told me that that they was security guards for the aliens, like bodyguards.
Hmm. One you makes you wonder why they're here. Then why wouldn't they just be with the aliens all the time?
That's a good question, man. Definitely. Maybe the aliens are here. Maybe can be invisible and stuff, man. That's a really good. It makes you think, man.
Yeah, if they're here, then it would lead. If they're their bodyguards, it would lead you to believe that other aliens are here as well.
Yeah, but
Totally
if
believe
they're
that they've been here for a long time.
absolutely, but if they're their bodyguards, then who's to say they're not other types of aliens?
Exactly. I mean, who says all these different cryptids that we're seeing aren't different types of aliens? I'm a pretty level-headed guy, and people look at you strange like that, but I can guarantee you I'm not freaking crazy. I'm pretty level. I'm responsible for a major company. So, yeah, it's just if you're just people just choose to ignore some of the crazy things that go along with Bigfoot. I don't. I think these light orbs that are seen in the woods are totally related to them. What they are, I have no idea, but they're related to them somehow. There's just too many sightings that correspond at the same time with Bigfoot with these orbs.
Absolutely, man. You should definitely talk with Junebug from In Dark Places, man. He's seen a bunch of orbs and stuff, and he believes they're kind of like mini UFOs. I believe that's what he said.
Yeah, it seems to me like I don't know if a mini UFO, well, I mean UFO, unidentified flying object, right? But I think you could actually put a label on it as some sort of scanning device, maybe a probe of some sort. That's kind of what I lead towards, some sort of alien probe, honestly.
Absolutely, man. Definitely an
Gathering
interesting.
information.
Yeah, definitely an interesting. That's definitely a theory.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's definitely getting down the rabbit hole. They say.
Yeah, you can get deep down in that rabbit hole, that's for sure. But mainstream Bigfoot don't want to hear it. They won't accept it. They just throw it out and cover it up and just forget about it, scrub it from a report and move on. Pick out the things that make them maybe a primate or something. Most everybody does think it's some sort of primate. I don't know, could be, but whatever it is, I think is totally grown in population for sure. The amount of sightings we're having and as many states we're having them in, the populations have to be growing. So that tells me if they came from somewhere else, they're thriving here, or if they, I don't know why it took so long for them to figure it out. I guess if they're just now starting to thrive, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean maybe the logging companies killed some Bigfoots, man. That's why the U.S. government wants to, not just the U.S. government, every government wants to keep it on the low. Maybe they've killed some of them, and they found out that they was half human and half ape, and they don't want people to know that they actually killed some humans.
Right. Yeah. And that's why a lot of people don't pull the trigger when they see one, a Bigfoot. Uh, it starts going through their mind. If I kill this thing and it's a Homo sapien, well, you probably could be brought up on murder charges. But at the same time, it would almost be you would almost think they would consider it suicide, being a guy is walking around in the woods during deer season or bear season in a fur coat or something. Obviously, these people think it's some sort of animal, and they they just they think it's more human than the animal, though, is what's really weird. So they don't pull the trigger.
Yeah, it definitely makes you wonder if Bigfoot is like a what is that, a Neanderthal or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I struggle with that one. The Neanderthal one, just for simple fact, where has the breeding population been since the Ice Age? That kind of thing. Uh, I don't believe they thawed from ice and just reanimated. I mean, I find it really hard to believe that. I know bacteria and things like that can, but I don't know about any kind of living like mammal or anything that could.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, man. Neanderthals, that does make it kind of, the ice age and stuff makes it kind of hard to believe, and I agree with you, man. I don't think that is a a full like human like creature. It's definitely got some sort of percentage of ape in it.
Yeah, just the way it looks described in a lot of accounts. But at the same time, Seth, you go all over the United States and they seem to be described differently everywhere. Even one, some Bigfoot reports on them having snouts. Well, that kind of fits with the dog man, doesn't it? So it almost seems like there's different ethnicities, if you would. Just like we are here humans, we look a little different from person to person, but overall we're the same. I think it could be a lot going on with these creatures as well.
Yeah, definitely, man. And there's another thing that I want to talk about. This has got to do with UFOs. If people think that they've seen UFOs the past couple nights in the sky with a bunch of lights going in a straight line, you have not seen UFOs. You have seen the Elon Musk Starlink internet satellites going up in the sky.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I buy that. I mean, there's a lot of I mean, look at the Phoenix lights. That wasn't Elon Musk. That's straight lines of lights, and it seems
Oh no,
like,
this was actually scheduled to go up at these times that people was thinking they were seeing UFOs.
oh, okay. Well, then
Yeah,
I could definitely believe that. Then if they were scheduled to go up, people were seeing
yeah,
them definitely.
yeah. Because he just
That's
started the Starlink internet company like less than a year ago. Yeah, actually at 5:41 tonight, you can see the like the last couple of satellites go up in the sky at 5:41 p.m.
where they launching them from.
That's a good question. I think everywhere, man. I think they're going all over like the world, man. Like you're gonna be able to get internet. Like if you live in a rural area, you actually have a choice now. You can get Starlink internet, and definitely want to get Starlink internet. Elon Musk is a genius, man.
That guy, he's a pretty smart individual. Got a lot of smart individuals working for him. That's for sure. That's pretty neat. I don't know. I think technology it seems like we're moving too fast. You know what I mean? Things are coming about so fast. Where's all this technology coming from overnight? It's
We've had it.
yeah, we've had it, but where'd we get it from? Kind of thing.
Aliens.
I think a lot of it is probably accurate, honestly.
Yeah. I could get down the rabbit hole some more, but I'm not. Well, I will, time travel. Do you actually believe in time travel?
Yeah, people actually do believe in time travel, and there's been a couple well, who was that guy? Was it back in the 50s or something like that? That guy came oh, I think it was, I want to say Chicago or New York or somewhere, and he claimed to be from the future and all that. Did you hear about that?
Oh, wow. What happened with
Yeah,
that?
I'll have to get some more information on that so I can speak truly on it, accurately. But yeah, this guy supposedly came from there. Somehow people started questioning him or something, and he was reporting things from the future, and all these things have come true or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, that's worth looking into. I need to. I'll get some more details, and we can talk some more about that. But you also see these things like on the internet where they're finding mud that's 30,000 years old and it has a cell phone imprint in it, and it's fossilized. That is some strange stuff. I don't know if they're hoaxing or what, but it's strange nonetheless.
Definitely worth looking into, man.
Yeah. Time
What?
travel always bothered me though. That's one of those things that I can't even watch a movie about time travel. That butterfly effect thing messes me up every time. I lose interest.
Oh, you can't watch Back to the Future?
That was probably the best time travel movie ever.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Wasn't there a movie like a silent movie back in the 1920s where you actually could see a woman on her cell phone? Was that Charlie Temple movie?
I've heard of that. I don't know what it was, but I've definitely heard of that. Yeah, there's little crazy reports like that all over the place. It's, but if you like, say, if you go online, look up time travel relics from time travel, maybe that'll pull it up. But yeah, there was like modern stuff embedded in fossils that was, you know, 30, 40,000 years old. It's
Wow.
crazy. It's like, no way. It's, you almost think it was hoax, but you know, that would tell me if there's time travel possible, that's what's happening there.
Some of it probably is.
Yeah, somebody gets back there, drops her cell phone in the mud, and next thing you know, here we are digging it up. I don't
Yeah.
know. That might be a little too much into the woo they call it.
There's definitely been some Bigfoot stories that you can tell like that's BS, man. Like you can be like, there's no way you seen Bigfoot and the aliens going to a strip club or whatever.
Definitely not. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts with encounters, and you can tell which ones might have a little. I'm not going to say they're making it up, but maybe they just got some psychological problems going on. Uh, things aren't quite wired right up there. I guess. I hate to say that, but it's true. A person sitting at home that has that kind of problem, and they just start dreaming up things, and next thing you know, I saw this Bigfoot and there it is. But the majority of the accounts I hear, I mean, the people are breaking down in tears, this, that, and the stories are too long and detailed to be, you would have to be an actor or something to be able to memorize lines like that, to go back and do that good to make somebody believe that you're sincere about it.
Absolutely, man. That you can definitely tell when somebody's lying or telling the truth about stories. And me, unfortunately, I've never seen Bigfoot.
Yeah, I haven't either. That's why we're going to Washington State. I said we're going to travel around to the hottest spots we can find to increase our chances. Like I said, my goal is to get video of this thing 10 feet away from it, yelling and screaming, and prove this one wrong, it won't be blurry. Be nice 1080p GoPro on my chest, and letting this thing holler and scream at me. That's my goal. I'm going to, if I see it in the brush, I'm going after it. But I got guys with me that I could trust to have my back going into that brush. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Um, we're not going in. I hate to say it, we're not going unarmed. I mean, that'd just be crazy. Go out there in those mountains with the mountain lions and bears alone, to
People.
go out there unarmed. So yeah, we don't have intentions of hurting anything. But at the same time, we don't have intentions of getting hurt either. So we're going out there and we're going to do our best to find some cool evidence. And if I do, I'll let you know. We'll get back on and show you what evidence we found.
Absolutely, man. Do you actually have some prints to show?
Well, I did order a couple of replica prints if you want to see them.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, one second. This is actually the footprint that Bob Gimlin and Roger Patterson got when they saw Patty.
Wow.
Pretty large. I think it's 14 and something half inches long and roughly about 4.5 inches, 5 inches wide. Pretty cool. Get a little closer to the camera so you can see the detail of the toes.
Wow, man. And where can people
Just
get that
there's a place online they do replicas of it's actually called, I want to say sasquatchprints.com or something like that, possibly. But yeah, they're only like $30, something like that. This one's a real neat one. This one is a Yeti print out of Russia.
Wow.
See how the toes displaced up here, shorter, and then these little digits up here, they look really weird. Got 5 toes, but that one's off to the side. It kind of reminds me of a orangutan. But you can't see it on here, but this cast, the replica, you can actually see dermal ridges in this, which is really cool. If it's got dermal ridges, it's probably a live animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I got right now. Like I said, we're going to have plenty of materials out when we go out to Washington State and going up to Mount St. Helens. Everybody knows that's a hot spot, and in the Olympic Mountains. We'll be out there for 7 days and hope to come back with some good stuff for you.
YouTube, man. You are you gonna create a YouTube and
We're definitely going to do that. We're going to do a lot of videoing out there. I've got a lot of video that I need edited. I'm trying to learn all the editing software right now and trying to learn all that and everything else I'm involved in. I'm in 2 different schools now, so and still working and taking care of home life. Excuse me. So pretty busy, but YouTube's definitely coming up and the podcast as well. So yeah, there's some good things coming up for this year. Got tons of video to get edited, so I have plenty of videos to put on YouTube right away. It
yeah,
should be a good time.
you should definitely go live on Facebook when you're out there too, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we plan on doing that for sure. And then, like I said, we're going to have so much video when we come back from there. We'll probably be able to make 5 or 6 episodes. Who knows?
Wow, man. Definitely want to have you on and would other members of your Bigfoot research team also want to be on as well?
Oh yeah, I can make that happen. We just live a little bit apart, so we just have to, schedule that to where they can be here too. And that'd be my brother Jared and my best friend of 30 plus years, Danny. Uh, those are my 2 backup guys right there. We go everywhere together. We do everything. Um, my wife does too, but she's more involved in like the ghost stuff. I try to keep her as safe as possible, of course.
Yeah. I already did all the ghost hunting stuff. I'm interested in Bigfoot now.
Yeah, ghost stuff. Actually got a ghost investigation coming up pretty soon. A friend of mine that I've caught stuff at his house before. Things are starting to ramp up there, so we're gonna go up and do a full all-out investigation.
Wow.
We're gonna do some dowsing rod stuff. We're gonna have plenty of cameras set up. We're gonna do it up a lot of EVP stuff, but the most of what
Ghost
he's seeing
box?
is visual. What's that?
Oh, ghost box.
Yeah, we got an SB7 ghost box. I like it, but I really like the dowsing rods. I think they hold a little more weight than the ghost box, honestly. But I've got some really good video of me doing a dowsing session, and whatever was there responded for I'm talking 30, 45 minutes. Every question, it would close them, open them up, spread them apart, do it all, for a good 30 to 45 minutes long. Pretty amazing.
Definitely want that on a YouTube video. You should definitely make a YouTube
Yeah,
video of that, man. Did you say
definitely.
there's like residual apparition? So the apparition comes at like the exact same time every day? Because at one of my cousin's house, when I used to stay over there and stuff in Lexington, Kentucky, at around 3 a.m. every night, you could see a misty apparition come around and go into the bathroom every night at 3 a.m.
Yep. That sounds like a residual haunting.
Yep.
Just plays over and over in time, more or less. That's really cool. Now, my dad lived in a cabin in Kentucky outside of Manchester up in Goose Creek. Um, every night at about 11 o'clock, they had the old wooden flip latch on the door. And every night at 11 o'clock, something would smash that thing off of there, unlock it every night, knock it off the door. And they'd have to go over and relock the door every time at 11 o'clock at night, every night. My
Man,
dad's got lots of stories from down there in Kentucky when he was a kid. He saw a ghost of a little girl that is pretty amazing.
yeah.
Says he was down in a creek playing on Goose Creek, and the little girl was dressed in white, and it looked like an old white nightgown. And she floated across the river in front of him. He says she's about 6 inches off the water and just floated across the river while he was there playing. He said that freaked him out pretty bad. He don't believe in Bigfoot, but he definitely believes in ghosts.
Well, man, who's to say Bigfoot ain't a ghost?
Yeah, ghosts normally don't leave footprints, but who
You
am
never
I?
know, man. Might be an alien ghost. I don't know, man.
Nobody's right, nobody's wrong at this point, as far as I'm concerned. I think everybody's right
Yeah,
until somebody comes out with the exact right one. That won't happen until somebody says, "Yeah, publicly that this thing's real."
yeah, definitely, man. But I will tell you this, man. When people will tell you a story about Bigfoot getting into a UFO and going partying and all that crap, they're lying. That definitely ain't telling the truth.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff where people say that they saw Bigfoot walking out of a UFO. I don't know if they're alien. Why not? Right?
Yeah,
It,
now that can make sense. But once you
yeah.
told me you seen Bigfoot and the aliens and the UFO in front of you at McDonald's or Wendy's or wherever, you was
Yeah, I'm
smoking
gonna.
weed or drinking.
That's the end of that conversation. Because yeah, somebody's definitely I'd probably harder than weed or drinking, honestly, if they're seeing stuff like that going on.
Yeah, I will tell you this, man. There was a couple stories that some Bigfoot researchers have told me that the craziest stories that they've heard from witnesses and stuff. And I'm not gonna say who the people are and stuff, but
Right.
it makes you like, there's people out here that just want publicity.
That's it. Yep. You're right. That's it. That 5 minutes of whatever fame they think they're going to get out of the Bigfoot world. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, maybe I'll headline a Crypticon or something. Okay. You still haven't proved nothing.
Be on Discovery for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, be on Discovery, yeah, but you still haven't proved nothing. That tells me right there you're probably mostly in it for the money at that point. But I can understand some of the serious guys having to do something to get money to go on their event, their expeditions. All my stuff's out of my pocket and my brother's, and when you invest this much money, I don't want to stop until I at least see this thing close. you know,
Oh yeah,
I will.
definitely.
I will. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the Bigfoot researchers that actually don't do it for money and just get paid doing it. There's a difference in just doing it and people want to pay you than doing it for the money. You can tell the difference.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. How many t-shirts can I sell? How many how many stickers can I sell? And
Uh,
yeah, a lot of those guys are money guys. I don't feel like I don't know. It just makes me feel like there's ulterior motives, which it is. It's money, no doubt. But they know there's capitalizing on something that's popular right now. Uh, Most of us that have been looking into Bigfoot have been looking into it way before it ever got popular. That's for sure.
yeah,
I'm 47 now, and this has been a subject on my mind since I was probably 6 years old, 7 years old. And then when I started getting older and was able to travel around on my own and do things, then it really got serious. So I'm always on the look, man. I deer hunting, whatever kind of hunting I'm doing, my eyes are peeled for something else.
absolutely, man. And you're also do a little bit of dog man hunting as well. Do you see a connection between dog man and Bigfoot?
yeah, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. What's say that it's just not a different type of alien that's planted here, another breed of Bigfoot, because there are Bigfoot reports with them having canines and a small snout. But the dog man, it goes a little deeper than that. They say they look like German Shepherds, Dobermans. And that makes you believe it would be a total different creature to an extent, other than being bipedal with hands and legs. It's still some kind of bipedal animal, apparently. But like I said, who knows if it was from here or not? Then again, it could be genetically created on the dogman portion, from possibly Sasquatch DNA and mixing it with something else. Who knows? They're always looking for the better soldier, super MK Ultra, that kind of deal. So who says they're not creating some super soldier like this with gene splicing and whatnot?
I mean, just like Bigfoot, man, no answer is wrong.
Right. Yeah, you imagine a platoon of dogmen going against a platoon of Taliban. I don't think it'd be much of a fight.
Dog man could be real for sure, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever seen footprints of it, or
I have seen some that people have taken pictures of. I've seen some big canine prints, but I know immediately it's probably a wolf or some. This one guy goes, look at it. We're walking in the woods next to a creek. Guy looks this print. It's a giant print. I said it's coonhound. It was obvious it was a coonhound. I've coon hunted all my life. I know what dog print looks like. It was a big coonhound. I'd say probably 100-pound dog, but yeah, just people they want it to be something so bad that everything that looks strange just has something to do with Bigfoot or Dogman or some other cryptid. It's the humans. That's what humans do. They want adventure and excitement, for the most part.
yeah, I mean, everybody wants to find the evidence to prove that this creature is real, and they'll just look for any type of print.
Yeah, yeah, you're looking for evidence, but what are you going to do with that evidence when you got it? There's so much evidence collected on a daily basis. It's just thrown aside. Nobody will take. Melba Ketchum, she did a whole DNA study on this, and it did not turn out good for her. It's just they don't. Man, it is so weird that it's covered up so heavily. There's got to be more to it than just forestry. The damage to forestry would take if it was known. I don't buy that. It's something way, way more extreme.
Yeah, that it's not just because people want to cut trees down, they'll lose that. It's not just because of that. There's other
Right.
reasons. I mean, that could be a little reason why, but there is more reason to that. Maybe if it got out that these creatures existed, that people would come together.
That's another thing. What if they were aliens? They brought them out known that these things, they make them off as primates in America. Well, every poaching hunter out there would be trying to bag one of these things to say he got one. Whether you could brag about it or not, you wouldn't be able to. So I wouldn't see the point in that either. I don't know. I just think it's way more deep than anything like that. It would take, the U.S. would take a big financial hit in camping, outdoors in general, paper, any kind of textiles that come from lumber. But overall, it just has to be something bigger. I mean, there's no way they could ever set aside lands for them. They go where they want. We can't even find them now. How are we going to set aside land for them? You can't tell them, say, hey, this is where you got to go to live now. Like that's not going to happen. So it just has to be way deeper than just something to do with finances, I believe.
Absolutely, man. Do you believe they're the missing link?
Uh could be, but everything I've seen, there would probably have to be like, I don't know, 20 other missing links around somewhere to connect us to these things. A chimpanzee's DNA is, what was it? It's like only like a low percentage being different than ours, so just that little bit of change, such a small change between a human and a chimp, you would think there would have to be a whole, I don't know, like 20 different chains that split off to get these things. I don't know. It's not real scientific at things most of the time, but from just things I've gathered, there would have to be a lot more split off somewhere that should be documented somewhere, you would think.
Absolutely, man. Definitely. And so does your organization, your Bigfoot research team? I said organization. Your Bigfoot research team. Do you guys have like any upcoming hunts? Like people want to come hunt with you guys or anything?
Well, no, that's something we've been talking about, actually doing some, we're just trying to figure out some liabilities that might go along with that. The best thing we can say would be just throwing out an open invites. Hey, if you want to come join us for an outing. Yeah, maybe this winter we'll do that a couple of times, and in the summertime probably a lot more, get more people involved. But yeah, that's totally something. We're actually trying to get a venue to have like a little local little conference type deal, little Bigfoot type festival type deal, cryptid type festival, I should say, not only Bigfoot, but a lot of different things. There'll be some ghost hunters I know there and things like that. Just try to nail down a venue for that. Just to get people to bring their kids out and everything and get involved, games for the kids and whatnot. I thought it'd be really fun and just get more people more aware of what might be going on around them out here. And little kids, they're always excited about strange things, that pique their curiosity. So that's something we're looking into trying to do next year too. We'll just have to see how that goes at this point, though.
Yeah, definitely summer would be a good time for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I don't know about you, but here the winter here, man, are awful.
Yeah, well, we're a little further north even. We camped last night, actually. I think it got 27, 28 last night, but didn't get any kind of action all. We were out, just seeing if we could hear and been going out this property out in a town next to us called Shelbyville, where I was talking about earlier. But this property we've been going out there, been hearing some tree knocks and things going on, and trying to figure out if somebody's chopping wood or just messing around somewhere else. But we've been concentrating on that area and decided to stay there last night and just hang out and see if anything happened. Fortunately, nothing did. So we just shot some pellet rifles and had fun.
Absolutely, man. And tell the people where they can find your Bigfoot researching team's Facebook page and all that.
Yeah, we have Facebook page at We Are Legend Hunters. And then if you want to share an encounter or something, we have our email. It's wearelegendhunters@gmail.com.
Absolutely, man. Definitely people should get up with you and stuff. You have a Facebook group as well.
Yeah, it's the same thing. We Are Legend Hunters on a Facebook group as well. And then, like I said, first year we should be kicking off the podcast as well.
Absolutely, man. Do you got a name yet, or you don't want to tell the name?
I don't have any big names per se, but
Oh
I
no, I
do
mean a
have.
name for your podcast.
Oh yeah, it's just going to be We Are Legend Hunters podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yep, pretty simple. Name of the group, and we do got some pretty cool shows already lined up. A couple Bigfoot accounts.
Neil.
No. Like I said, there's
Definitely.
nobody popular yet, but
Definitely need to
these
get
are.
Don Neal, man. Don Neal's gonna be. I'm trying to. Don Neal's a very busy guy.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get him on before the end of the year.
right. Yeah, just some people I know that have some really really cool encounters they had. I think I got like 6 different people right now. One's a hunter, one's a military man about to retire. Actually, he's going to share a couple encounters with us about a UFO and possibly a dog man growling at him even over towards Land Between the Lakes. So,
After he does your show, could I possibly get him on?
oh, I know I can make that happen. It's my brother-in-law.
Oh, okay. I won't do it. I won't do it before though. I'm not that type of person.
That's all good, Seth. Yeah, hi, I'm on tell his main story, but good guy. Like I said, going to be retiring military, so he's not a BSer, man. What what he tells me, I totally believe. And it's really the UFO encounter is really amazing. I
Absolutely.
cannot wait to get that one out there.
After you have them on, I definitely would like to have them on, man. So you
For sure.
in January or February, whenever, man, because I'm definitely big into UFOs. I'm big into all
Yeah.
this stuff, man. And
Yeah.
also, he should do In Dark Places, man. That guy, Junebug, man. The research he does on UFOs and stuff, man. I've never seen anybody do the research like he does.
He pretty into it, huh? Yeah, it's nice though. Talk to people like that in other field. The UFO groups and the Bigfoot groups and the ghost groups, and uh, some of that stuff will tie together. And I have found some of it tying together. It's really interesting.
Absolutely,
So
man.
who knows how to play out?
Yeah, I definitely respect Junebug a lot, man, for all the research he does. He puts a lot of hard work into researching UFOs.
Right, right, yeah. Um, yeah, I'm gonna look up his podcast and get subscribe to it too.
Yeah.
You say he's picked it up some levels, so I'd like to check it out.
He's got the him and Mr. Haunted on there absolutely killing it, man.
That's a good deal. Yeah, good for them.
Absolutely. And man, I mean, dude, the podcast here in Eastern Kentucky are great as well, man. We got Here True Bubblegum. They're doing a great job. Their podcast is fantastic. You got Talk Junkie with Justin Perkins, also a really good podcast around here. There's a lot of Down the Hollers, another podcast as well, and
Yeah, I think I subscribed to that one already. I
the
believe.
Spooky Family. The Spooky Family is another podcast too, and then you got the Paranormal Trucker.
Yeah, the Paranormal Trucker. Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've listened to a few of his episodes too. I listen as much as I can. Super busy, like I say, man. Got
Yeah,
a lot
man.
going on in my life right now.
Yeah, in my humble opinion, here in Eastern Kentucky and here in the Appalachian Mountains, we got the best podcast. That's just my opinion.
I'm gonna go with you on that one, Seth.
Yeah, Junebug's in the Appalachian Mountains too, man. He lives in West Virginia, so he counts too. We got the best podcast around, man.
There you go. I love it. I love hillbilly horror stories. You listen to them?
Wow, where's that out of?
You would ask me. I can't remember, but they're pretty big. They got a pretty big following. It's called Hillbilly Horror Stories. And yeah, it's a husband and wife. They do a lot of cool stuff on rock and roll, like Satanism into rock and roll and all kinds of things like that. Bigfoot, I mean, ghosts, they do a lot of things. Very interesting podcast to listen to. Didn't
Wow.
mean to plug another podcast, but kind of did.
You're fine, man. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I've never heard of that podcast though.
Yeah. I've been listening to it for quite a long time.
Oh, it's an old podcast.
Yeah, and they're still rolling though. They've been at Crypticon down in Lexington a few times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lexington ain't too far away from you, is it?
No, it's about 3 hours.
Oh,
Yeah. It wouldn't take me long to get down around where you're at either. So looking forward to that to, get toward the spring, get down there with you and get you out in the woods.
absolutely, man. Hopefully, we can find other Bigfoot researchers in this area. I don't. The only one I knew was Earl, man. I really don't know anybody else that was into it.
Yeah. I'll poke around and see if I know anybody else from that area. A lot of times when you're talking to other researchers, I fail probably at this and find out, all their locations. It would be insane to remember all that just from one time accounts, encounters, talking to them from here and there. But it's definitely growing.
Guy. There was a Bigfoot guy in Letcher County. Earl told me about. I just can't remember his name.
Yeah, I have to look. Like I said, I'm networking with a lot of people right now, so I'll see what I can find down there. And like I said, we should do a podcast out in the woods. I think that'd be cool.
I got the camera, man.
Yeah, me too. We should be good to go on that.
Yeah, that would be different. I've did live, like recorded live music concerts and stuff. So I mean, definitely would be cool for sure.
Yeah. Maybe we'll talk about doing that when we come down there.
Yeah, before and after hunt.
See if Seth gets shaken or not.
Eh, I've ghost hunted some pretty haunted places, man. I don't really get too scared when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, that's good. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens when we got a 10-foot creature standing in front of us and see if we both crap ourselves or not.
Well, now that would be a different story. If I hear a knock or something, that's not going to bother me. But now, if I see a 10-foot creature, I'm running, man.
Run it up. Yeah. I can't say that I might not either, but I don't think I will. A lot of times when you're looking for people aren't looking for them is the trouble, and that's when they run into them.
Yeah,
I've been prepping myself for this sighting my whole life, and I'd like to believe that I could stand my ground to an extent.
yeah. I definitely would not do Bigfoot hunting for fame. I do not want to see Big. I mean, I don't care to see Bigfoot, but I definitely not doing it for fame because if I see it, I won't take a video or anything or take a picture. I'm running.
This says I'm out of here. Had enough.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even know if it would even scare me, man. Because I mean, some Bigfoots are. That was something Earl said about Bigfoots. He heard from another Bigfoot researcher that just like humans, there's good Bigfoots, there's evil Bigfoots, and then there's decent Bigfoots.
I can agree with that. I think it is like running into any certain human on any given day. You don't know what mood they're going to be in. Number one, it's obvious they think a lot like a human just by their characteristics and things they do. They got to eat. They have young, so uh, it's sorry, I lost train of thought there, buddy. Totally derailed on that. Had something going, but yeah, I just think it depends on the day you pick them on, and also their locations. If you're down in Southeast Texas and where it's hot as all get out and you're covered in hair, you're probably not going to be too happy anyway. Cause,
Oh no, man! If you're out working in the heat, like cutting grass or something, you're gonna be pissed off.
Right? Yeah, yeah. But I do think there's a certain amount of bad that goes wrong with them too. Of course, most encounters aren't where somebody actually got physically hurt or anything. Most time it's a little standoff. They get gone and that's over with. Um, but I do believe that the bad ones that we're talking about, I think they got something to do with some missing people throughout the United States, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Definitely appreciate you being on, brother, man. And we'll definitely have you on in the next couple weeks.
I appreciate it, man. And sorry about the phone call. Yeah, I appreciate it, Seth, and it's always fun being on with you, man, and talking to you, off video as well. Seems like we're clicking pretty good. I think we're going to become pretty good friends over years, man. I do.
Absolutely, man. And definitely appreciate you being on, man. And this has been the interview with Bigfoot researcher. Well, he just does everything cryptid researcher, David Mills, and he's from the Bigfoot research team. You're the head guy.
I'm the guy. Yep. We are
He's
legend hunters.
the founder of the We Are Legend Hunters Bigfoot research team, cryptid research team, actually.
There you go.
I definitely appreciate David for being on, man, and definitely find him on Facebook. We Are Legend Hunters. I want to thank David Mills for being on, Bigfoot researcher David Mills for being on. Y'all have a good night, and God bless.